Smelly. Time passed. It got darker and a little colder, but otherwise nothing much changed. The bear rode. The boy fidgeted and fussed. He was stiff and restless and, despite his tiredness, longed for some activity. He wanted to stomp about impatiently, but there wasn't room, so all he could manage was some rather awkward shuffling, and still unused to the unsteadiness of the boat, he lost his balance. He lurched against the side, and the boat tipped, sending him further off balance. He arched his back, windmilled his arms, and just managed to stay upright. Not only that, but he was pretty sure that the bear, head down and concentrating on his rowing, hadn't noticed anything. Then the boat rocked back the other way, and the boy fell, landing on his bottom with a loud thump. "Having a lie down?" said the bear, still not looking up, but the moon was full and bright enough for the boy to see him smiling. "Humph," said the boy. The bear pulled his smile in at the sides a bit. "You should get some sleep," he said. "It's late." "I'm not tired," said the boy, sitting tenderly back on his seat. Then he yawned noisily. "No, I can see that. Are you hungry though? Do you want anything to eat? I think we'd better save the chocolate for now, but there's a sandwich left." The boy stopped rowing and reached beneath him for his lunchbox. "I thought we'd eaten them already." "We'd eaten them all already," said the boy. "I thought so too," said the bear. "But then I cleared out all the tin foil and found this one at the bottom of the box. I think it must be left over from my last trip, so it's a bit past its best." "What's in it?" said the boy. He had tried a few of the bear's sandwiches by now and had grown wary of their eccentric fillings. There had been tuna fish, peanut butter and pineapple, sprout and honey, chili pepper, mustard and horseradish, and what the bear called his breakfast special: bacon, sausage, egg, porridge, cornflakes and coffee beans between two slices of toast. He didn't relish the thought of anything else along the same lines, but he really was very hungry. The bear rummaged in the lunchbox and pulled out something bready and triangular. He held it towards the boy. "All yours," he said. The boy looked at the proffered sandwich. He noticed that the bear was holding it rather gingerly in the tips of two claws and right at the corner. Despite this, the bread did not bend at all. The boy looked up at the bear. He looked back at the sandwich. It was very difficult to tell what colour it was by moonlight, but whatever colour it was, it didn't seem right. "What's in it?" said the boy again. "I can't remember," said the bear. "Well, open it up and have a look," said the boy. "I can't," said the bear. "It's stuck." The boy looked up at the bear. The bear smiled thinly down at the boy. They both looked back at the sandwich. "It is," said the boy. "What?" said the bear. "It is only a bit, but is it glowing?" "No," said the bear. They each squinted at the sandwich and leaned in cautiously to look more closely. Just had to pause the video because there was a delivery at the door, so I don't quite know where I was up to. I remember reading glowing, so I'll continue from there. "No," said the bear. They each squinted at the sandwich and leaned in cautiously to look more closely. "Hardly at all," said the bear. "I'm not really that hungry," said the boy. "You have it." "That's very kind," said the bear, "but I think that I'll save it for breakfast." And when he put the sandwich away again, the boy noted that the bear locked the lunchbox, which he didn't usually do, and seemed to take extra care as he stowed it away. They each returned to their usual places. "You should get some sleep," said the bear. "I'll keep going for a bit. It's a nice night. Thought I'd row for a while longer and take a look at the moon." "Look at the moon?" said the boy. "Why, it's not going to do anything, is it? I mean, the moon is just the moon." But as he said it, he looked up at the moon himself, and as there was nothing better to do, he kept looking at it for quite a while. He'd been right, it didn't do anything, but it didn't have to. It was just beautiful. It just was. The boy gazed at the moon longer and harder than he'd ever had before, because who would spend time looking at the moon when there was a telly to watch and video games to play and comics to read, and felt for a moment calm and safe and sure. "Cool," he said, but very quietly. And then the boy looked at the stars. There were a lot of them, more, he thought, than usual. He wondered where all the new ones had come from. Maybe they were just all the usual ones, but they'd all bunched together in the same bit of sky. He twisted his neck, looking up at different patches of sky, but they all seemed equally crowded. "You can see more stars out here," said the bear, as if reading the boy's mind, "because it's properly dark." The boy lowered his head and looked at the bear. "It's funny, isn't it?" the bear went on. "With everything else you can't see as well in the dark. But with stars, you can see them better. In towns with street lights and such like, it's not dark enough to see some of them, but out here." He looked up and smiled, and either forgot to continue or felt no need. The boy looked up again too. They sat there for a while, quiet and content, drinking in the beauty of the bejeweled night. I love this part of the story because it's got that message behind it, hasn't it? That technology and human beings and the busyness and the stresses of life sometimes stop us from just admiring the beauty of nature and something as amazing as the stars and the moon. I can't remember the last time I looked at the stars and the moon properly. And then this last sentence is just brilliant. They sat there for a while. Of course they sat there for a while, they've got nothing else to do. But they truly sat there, quiet and content, drinking in the beauty of the bejeweled night. That's a lovely phrase, drinking it in, consuming it all. Absolutely fantastic sentence. I love it. "Do you use them to navigate by?" asked the boy. "Huh?" The boy looked at the bear, and his neck, stiffened by a light breeze, gave a small ache of complaint at having to move again. "Do you use the stars to know which way to go?" The bear scrunched his brow. "To know which way is north and south and everything." "Oh," said the bear. "That sounds clever. How'd you do that?" "I don't know," said the boy. "You're supposed to be the sailor. I don't even know the names of any of them." "They have names?" said the bear. The boy's wide eyes were like two more dim stars now, staring hard in disbelief. "Yes, of course," said the boy. "They all have names. And if you know the names, and you know which one is which and where they all go, then you can tell which direction is which and know which way you need to go somehow." "Whew," said the bear. "That sounds like a lot of hard work when you could just use a compass." "Have you got a compass?" said the boy. "No," said the bear. "So how do you know which way we're going?" "I just do," said the bear. "I know where we are, and I know where we're going, and that's all, but that's enough." The boy looked grumpy and suspicious. He was getting cold too. He hunted around huffily, feeling for his coat in the especially dark darkness beneath his seat. "Oh," said the bear, "I do know one thing about telling directions from the stars." "What's that then?" said the boy. The bear pulled his oars in and stood up, raising his eyes to the deep dark and the dazzle of the sky. He scanned the stars in the patch of sky directly above him as if seeking something out. The boy stood too, up on the top of the middle bench seat, closer to the bear than he normally ever got, to follow his gaze. He was still shorter than the bear, but he could look into his eyes now and see reflected in their dark wetness the wonder and magic and mystery of the night, the stars sparking and sparkling within. Then he looked up again, trying to see what the bear saw, searching the blinking lights as if for clues or patterns. "You see," said the bear. In a distant, quiet voice, as if almost in a trance, he slowly raised an arm. "You see," he pointed at the nameless stars above. "Those three brightest stars there, almost in a line." "Yes," said the boy in a whisper, looking straight along the bear's raised arm and pointed claw. "Well, that way," said the bear. "Yes," said the boy. "That way," said the bear. "Yes, he is definitely—" "Yes." "Up," said the bear. There was a long, long pause, during which the boy considered a number of things to say to the bear. He came up with something quite good and very rude, but was still waiting for the bear to stop sniggering naughtily at his own joke, when he was overcome by a horrible feeling of nausea. The bear, still giggling, had not lowered his arm, and the boy's face was close to his armpit. "Ah!" said the bear. "You stink!" It wasn't a clever thing to say, as he had intended, but it worked rather well. The bear looked hurt, and the boy was glad of it. "I've been working hard, you know," said the bear defensively, quickly lowering his arm. "I was bound to work up a bit of a sweat. I'm not surprised if I smell a little ripe." "Ripe," said the boy, pinching at his nose and retreating to the back of the boat. "More like rotten. I think I'm going to be sick. Ugh!" The boy leaned out of the boat, and, overacting outrageously, pretended to be sick. "Oh, ugh, SOS, Mayday, I'm stuck on a boat with a fat, stinky bear. Bleh, send help, send the Coast Guard, send soap." His already unconvincing act was made no more believable by frequent bouts of laughter. Even without looking back, the boy could tell that the bear was hurt, and he no longer took pleasure in the fact, but somehow, now that he had started laughing, he found that he couldn't stop. He slumped over the side and laughed and howled and beat his fists until he was breathless and hoarse and exhausted. At last he stopped. He felt ashamed and didn't want to look round at the bear, but somehow even now he felt no urge to apologise. So he knelt there, staring into the dark water and listening to his breath and his heart both slowing. Suddenly the water lit up and the boy saw his reflection. There were tears on his cheeks, and he didn't know if they were tears of laughter or of regret. Either way, he didn't want to look at himself, so finally he stood embarrassed, still not facing the bear directly, but glancing sheepishly at him out the corner of his eyes. The bear had lit an old-fashioned lantern and was hanging it from a pole he had raised at the top of the boat. The bear sat down and took up his oars once more. "You should sleep now," he said. The boy turned away from him, lay down and curled himself up beneath the ragged blanket that the bear had given him on the first night. He closed his eyes and listened to the rhythm of the oars. Splish, splish, splish. He wondered what he might say or do to apologise, but before he had thought of anything, he was fast asleep. Oh, it's just awkward, isn't it? That's an awkward situation to be in. You're in a very small boat with a bear that's given you this blanket, looked after you, he's trying to help you, and you treat him that badly. And then you're in this awkward position where you don't feel you can apologise, you can't even look at him, but you're stuck in a small boat with him. Oh, horrible.